the market and in particular crypto gaming is hitting an interesting point. I mean, sentiment is very low, but there are some promising factors on the horizon. And I do think that buying gaming coins now will prove to be one of the biggest brain moves that you can do at this point in the cycle, when pump fun is really kind of reaching maybe a little bit of a top as far as local sentiment. Meme coins are taking a hit. People will be rotating back into utility altcoins. And I'm going to go over some gaming projects today that I think are great buys, great accumulations, things to jump into, but most importantly, some of the flaws in the space that have held certain projects back, and what has caused me to really simplify my investment thesis and my portfolio due to broken promises, underwhelming delivery, underwhelming games, etc. So let's just jump right into it. If you're new to the channel, drop down, hit that like button, and subscribe down below. Smash the subscribe button. We're trying to push for that 100K before the end of the year. And of course, a quick shout out to all of our sponsors here on In the Game. We have Universe, we have Omni, we have Moon Tropica, NordVPN, as well as all of our exchange partners down below. I've actually been trading with Blowfin. I really like Blowfin. There's a link down below in the description if you want to jump in and utilize all of the tools and the markets that Blowfin, Avo, Bybit, Maxi, BitGet, all of the above have to offer down below in the description. And let's dive into it. So obviously, 12% decline on Bitcoin over the month time period. We're really fighting to get over that 60K. And if we actually look today, we saw a little bit of a bounce around these periods. Like we got up to 59, but we really are having trouble maintaining that 59.60 level currently. But personally speaking, I'm not too worried about what's happening in the market right now as far as price action. I think that we had such a monumental run from last November up to today. So seeing where Bitcoin is sitting now, obviously altcoins are feeling the pain, right? A lot of alts are getting smashed. Some of their liquidity, some of their just sentiment, etc., is just not going in the right direction. However, I think that where the market sits right now, heading into election season and into 2025, where I see the real bull market beginning, I think that we're actually looking pretty good currently. And there have actually been some big wins. First and foremost, anyone who's been accumulating Lil Bub, we've talked about this one over the last few shows, it's now at 25 million. I expect this one to keep pushing upwards. But other than that, like not a lot of stuff is moving in the market. If we look at the 7-day time period, we have Star Atlas making some moves. Crown has bounced by about 17%. I'm still very bullish on Crown, for example. But this is like a rough patch / sideways, if not negative price action for some projects out there. But personally speaking, I think that gaming is hitting a bottom. Now, we saw a little bit of a gaming pump yesterday. We saw some projects like Mavia take a little bit of a leg up and some other gaming altcoins. But right now, there's a lot of negativity across the broad scale crypto gaming space. But there's some positives, if you read between the lines, that I just think can't be ignored. And when we look at the gaming space over the last, now it's crazy to say, 36 months. We're 36 months into this industry. We really probably only have 10 games that are like worthy of staying, right? From the Parallels to the Big Times to Pirate Nation, My Pet Hooligan. There's a great number of examples, Wilder World, Super Champs, etc. Like there are absolutely ecosystems that have proven that they have great product, they're here to stay. But for the most part, a lot of these games have met us with broken promises, overhype, big trailers that have just underwhelmed and underdelivered. And I like what Ghost tweeted here. How you can eliminate 95% of gaming projects from your consideration. Do they have a working product? Are their comms on point, or are you constantly wondering what they're doing? And look, quite frankly, even from a year ago today to now, I have consolidated so much of my conviction because so many teams are just lying through their teeth or under-delivering. Like I said, their product is just not there at all. They're giving you these hype trailers that never come through with real product. But then on top of that, like I need a project that's giving updates. Like, are you moving towards your goals on your roadmap? If you don't tweet for 3 weeks and then you come out with something, it's like, okay, that's not really going to do it for me at this point in the market. And we're literally seeing projects capitulate. Dimensionals, which was at one point a pretty hyped game. Mino Games raises 15 mil to create Dimensionals Web3 game. Well, they actually left the space today. This morning, they announced that they're leaving Web3, going back to Web2. And this was supposed to be one of those like big next games in the space built by like a flashy founder who had this big Web3 gaming experience. So like over the time periods, I can care less what you've done in your past life. I would prefer people who have good funding, understand crypto and Web3 psychology, understand how to entice the user to stay in this industry, because like it or not, people are here to A, have fun in the games, but B, to make money. So if you're not ready for the extraction that is going to come inside of your ecosystems, and everyone's going to want gains, like that's, as they say in crypto, the price action's the best marketing. Like price going up is by far the best marketing that a project can have. And some of these projects, they don't know what they're getting themselves into. And then they, have these holders that have expectations and they're not met, right? So we've seen these disappointments. And I agree with Ghost here. I have eliminated 95% of gaming projects from my consideration. And to be quite honest, I think you should too. There's no way that you should be holding 30 gaming projects at this point in the market. But with all that negativity comes my main point in this video, that I think gaming is officially bottoming. Now, we have Guns, which is crushing it. The Off the Grid game is literally one of the best games that we have ever seen in crypto, if not the best. Myself, Icy, we have Stash. I know Jonah Blake's played it. Kaggy's played it. A lot of the Web3 gaming creators have jumped into this game. I've played it on both my PC and PlayStation. This is the best game in crypto by far. It could legitimately break into the mainstream. And I do see this probably having a market in Twitch and esports, and maybe even being one of the next big battle royales in the entire space. The Guns network, which is built with Avalanche, saw the highest volume ever over this past weekend of playing off the grid. 12,000 hexes were decoded. And for Stash, like his Epic node processed 40 transactions, netting him about 48 guns over the last weekend. And AVAX is heating up. If you take a look here, Tether is issuing a lot of USDT on AVAX. There's a 10% change in the supply over the past 30 days, which is number 2 by chains. And the hype and activity is coming back. And a lot of this is driven right now by off the grid. So first and foremost, $20 Avalanche, easiest buy I think there is out there. I know it's boring. It's one of the top coins, but at the same time, you're looking at something that was $60 back in March. You're getting it at $20, and the number one Web3 game that we have ever seen in crypto is building with Avalanche. It is the most low-hanging fruit play that you have out there. So first of all, I think stacking AVAX here at $20 with all the hype that Ton, Sol have generated this cycle, I think some of that liquidity is going to cycle down into Avalanche, especially as we see off the grid growing. And we see Elio. 6 years he's been waiting for the types of games that we're about to get in crypto. And he says a very underrated story happening right now is Superverse partner Super Champs. They're crushing user onboarding. Mix in some AAA magic from Play Off the Grid and social gaming on Ton, and you have a powder keg. And every single token that we talk about in this video literally is associated with this. Like, whether it's doing great onboarding, whether it's the next big game and Play Off the Grid, or whether it's the Ton network. So let's look at Super Champs. I've been telling you guys to jump into this ecosystem. I was honestly one of the earliest on YouTube to be telling people, jump into Super Champs, join the rewards program, start getting involved, play the games, complete the quests, the challenges, stack their NFTs. The NFT floor price has like 2.5x'd over the last month or two. And then we see Super Champs taking off on base. These contracts were only deployed about 40 days ago and have 2 million interactions from over 500,000 addresses. As we see here on base, literally only behind Kratos Cash, Circle, and Uniswap. They are the highest activity on base. Like, that speaks for itself. And if you haven't jumped into Super Champs, I highly advise you do so. They are crushing it. In the rewards program, you can jump in and earn a share of their upcoming champ token, which is being airdropped to rewards program members. So definitely go check that out. And as Elio says, mix in that AAA magic from Play Off the Grid, which that what they're showing in the space right now is that Web3 gaming's real. Like, people are transacting on the back end of this game, and you wouldn't even know it if you're playing on PC or PS4, or PS5. So this is by far leading the charge, and I think going to cause a gaming pump that we haven't seen as explosive of a pump since 2021. So on the base level, Super Champs, if you're not jumping into that ecosystem already, I've said it 50,000 times. So you guys definitely need to go do that. I think Beam, it also has that AVAX exposure. But then Superverse in general, they are making so much strides right now. And I know a lot of the things coming for Super. And just recently, they partnered up with our sponsor here on the channel, Moon Tropica. Moon Tropica is one of the most fun games that I have had an experience of playing with friends, other people, the meme ability, the characters. There's a Becker character right here. And then there's like Superverse swag, Beam swag, IMX. They're collabing with all of the titans in the crypto gaming space. So Moon Tropica just partnered up with Super. And now Super is literally in alliance with Off the Grid, My Pet Hooligan, Wilder World, Metalcore. They have Shrapnel. They have Treeverse. They're literally linking in with the powerhouses, the who's who of the gaming space. So honestly, I would say AVAX and Super, as of today, at these market cap levels and at these price points, are probably my top picks for DCAs at these levels. I just think 50 cents on Super and $20 on AVAX, you're not really going to get much cheaper than that. And then a Superverse associated project, which is Wilder World, they're running their $5 million airdrop campaign as of now. If you haven't jumped into Odyssey, you need to. I mean, this is one of the biggest prize pools, biggest airdrop campaigns that we have seen to date in the crypto gaming space. And as they say, you wake up, you check the missions, you boot up the alpha, you hit top 50 on the leaderboard, and then you repeat. And if you don't know what's coming in this ecosystem, they have racing, combat, mining, economy, in-game assets. They're going to have their own blockchain with the Meow chain. The graphics are by far AAA, like up there with Off the Grid as far as the details, to the attention to detail with the graphical capabilities in this game. And they're going to have a first-person shooter. So everything that Wilder World is bringing to the table just fits what's the narrative right now. It's AAA, it's high-quality mobile ecosystems like Super Champs, and it's Telegram. And we got the alpha early here on In the Game. Once again, one of the earliest to bring you the really just the early alpha. We had Simon, the founder of GOAT Gaming, come on the show a couple weeks ago, and he told us that Telegram was going to be a huge focus for them. And Elio's tweet said it itself, that, seeing the social gaming on Ton is blowing up. We literally have stuff like Ton Station. We've been covering this for quite a while. They have their Soon token coming out soon. Ironically, you could say that, but right now, like, this is basically the Steam of Telegram gaming. You jump in and you have access to 50, 100, 200 different games inside the Ton ecosystem. So it's a one-stop shop that has all of the different ecosystem games on Telegram in one spot. We have projects like Notcoin, which I'm invested in Notcoin, and I think they're absolutely crushing it. Their social proof is second to none, and they're incubating new games on Telegram every single day. So if you're looking for exposure to a lot of different ecosystems in Ton, I would look at Notcoin. And then I would definitely be looking into Ton Station, maybe jumping in and farming their Soon token. But, quite honestly, Season 2 for the Road to GOAT is about to be underway, and they're focusing hyper on Telegram. I'm in touch with the team here. They want to break into Telegram. They want to break into Ton. And as mentioned, Simon said that this is the biggest – that's a funny one. Simon says, you remember that game as a kid. But – we are all gaming here, so we might as well mention that. But they're focusing hyper on Telegram and Ton because he said that he believes Telegram is the biggest gaming opportunity literally since Facebook gaming, which is what blew up companies like Zynga with their mini games like Farmville. So that's a pretty bold statement from an industry veteran like Simon. And if you have not jumped in to the road to GOAT yet, I highly implore that you do so. I think GOAT, Champ, and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 are going to be the biggest crypto gaming new token airdrops of the year. All three of these ecosystems are just freaking crushing it. And like I said last week, their art on their NFTs is freaking impressive. And you can actually jump in right now and compete for, 100,000 ZK. And this is in their premier title, Mighty Action Heroes. So a lot to come in this ecosystem, and I will update because there's going to be a lot of opportunity to jump in, play games, and farm for the GOAT token on Telegram. So whenever this goes live, I'll put a link down below, get you guys involved, because I think front running these narratives, that's what this whole thing is about. This show today, we want to front run the things that are going on in the space. And what is going on in the space? Number one, off the grid. So how do we do that? We're going to have exposure to Avalanche ecosystem and off the grid partners. That's AVAX, Beam, and Super. And then we're moving to the mobile side. I am highly focused on upcoming mobile games like Super Champs, GOAT, and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. So I'm farming the crap out of all of those airdrops, rewards programs, etc. That is where I'm hyper focused on my time and my liquidity, because the way you can go through here is, although their tokens aren't live, it's not just an airdrop farm. You just go in here and strictly buy some of these NFTs for 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, Super Champs, or GOAT, and you're going to qualify yourself for these airdrops. So I'm front running the biggest mobile ecosystems in the space, which are those three in my honest opinion. And then also with the Telegram narrative, you're getting exposure with GOAT. And then I'm looking at 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and Ton Station. Ton Station is one I'm jumping into. I'm trying to farm the Soon token. And then on top of that, I think 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 gives you overarching exposure into the Ton ecosystem. So I really think Elio's tweet there sums it up. That's what's hot in gaming right now. And if you're going to front run the next gaming run, you want your hands in the hottest narratives inside gaming. And I do think that off the grid, mobile, and Telegram, that's really where you should be putting your money. And that's what I'm doing. I think gaming is bottomed out with bearish news like this, projects that raise a bunch of money, leaving the space. And like I said, I think you have to eliminate most projects from your scope. Other ones that I still have high conviction on, IMX, Ronin, Prime, absolutely. I still have a huge bag of Prime. I think Zentry can make a big comeback. S-Fund's definitely going to make a big comeback. I'm still bullish on Vulcan Forge. I see that in the comment section all the time. I love the team over there, and they're just continuing to build. Moon Tropica is one I think is just going to be an explosive token. If there's one low market cap that I would be accumulating, it would be Moon Tropica. That moves us into, shout out to our sponsors, Moon Tropica. And as we talked about in the bulk of the show, Superverse and Moon Tropica just partnered up. The alpha was there. They've been showing a lot of the Elio characters, and there's the Superverse merch. But the new RPG, Moon Tropica, is joining Superverse. And, working with the guys at Moon Tropica here on the channel have just been, they've been an absolute gem. And like I said, when I jump into this game, it is so freaking fun. I need to jump in with the team again and grab some more gameplay and just show you guys how much fun this game is, because you play with 4 or 8 of your friends, and this game, it's just the content that can be made, the memes, it's incredible. So shout out to Moon Tropica, big partnership with 2 of my favorite projects with 𝗏 and Super. And I love Moon Tropica because their community, the 𝗏 community, is freaking insane. Basically like a cult that is behind this game in a great way. So very bullish on Moon Tropica, and a big shout out to them for sponsoring the show long term, one of our longest term sponsors here on the channel. But guys, that's about it. I'm front running the biggest narratives in gaming. Let me know what you're doing, because I see the comments, gaming's dead, but that's exactly why I think that you should be probably stacking into gaming, because people, I said, are so bearish right now. But if you read between the lines, you see the AAA games, you see the mobile adoption, you see the Ton adoption. gaming is really not even gotten on its feet yet. And I think we're about to see that as Gunzilla releases their token, their chain, as these mobile games drop their token. The narrative is going to heat up quite tremendously. And we're giving you that early alpha. So if you're enjoying that, like the video, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. As always, play well, my friends.